Hey, what is up guys, it's Tam over here and welcome to a tutorial video of Super Mario Maker 2. Now when you first come into the course maker mode, it can seem quite overwhelming with all the options you have. So here's a tutorial video to guide you through the important things you need to know about course maker. Now the first thing you do when you come into course maker is probably should take a look at your game style. Try to figure out which game style you want. It goes anywhere from Super Mario Bros. Number 1, 3, Super Mario World, which is one of the fan favorites, to some of the newer ones like Super Mario 3D World, Super Mario U. The main difference between these modes is actually going to be Mario's abilities. You want to make sure that you know what Mario can or cannot do in each game mode, which can make your level a lot harder or a lot easier depending on what it is. Now the second thing that you need to choose is your course theme. Course theme being if you want to be on the ground, being in the sky, the forest underground, the ghost house. It's all going to represent whichever game style you decide to choose and reflect that. The next thing that you need to know is auto scroll, yes or no. Auto scroll is basically the thing that starts pushing you toward one side of the map. It basically forces you to play the map with the time constraint that the screen is going against you. There's a lot of options that you can do with auto scroll on or off. It's really up to you how you want to make your map. Next thing is the timer. This is how much time you give a person to complete your level. Simple as that. Clear conditions. You can set clear conditions in this game. You can reach the goal without taking damage. You can make the person reach the goal without landing on the ground. If you start putting things onto the map, you can set course completions based off of taking out those monsters or also collecting items as well. Now if you go to the top right hand side with the magnifying glass, you can select the items in more detail. Let's start off with terrain. Terrain is the floor, the spike traps, the pipes, anything that goes on the ground that you can put into the game to expand your level. Next thing we have is going to be the blocks. You have the question block that you can put things inside, a heart block that doesn't do anything, blocks that break if you are big, ice blocks, tile blocks, no blocks, donut blocks, hidden blocks. Now the next part you can put in is the items. That goes for the mushrooms, the flowers, the star powers, the Yoshis, the 1-ups, coins you can use. And the next part we have the enemy section. You can put in the Goombas, the Koopas, the Piranha Plants, the Chomp Chomps, the Thromps. All the enemies that you can put in the game is going to be in this section. Now when you change the game style, the enemy's palette will change accordingly to the type in that game. Now the next section is the Gizmo section. You can put in the keys, the POWs, the checkpoints, lifts, things that move around in the map will all go in this section. This is the section you normally use to make your map a little bit more interesting. I'm going to show you an example of one of my maps that I decided to make, and then you can see what happens with the gizmos. Now to finish up the tutorial, let's go over what is on the right side of the screen. You have the menu button that can bring you back to course maker, story mode, whatever you have. You have save and load where you can load your previous files or save the current one. The erase tools on the right side, erase pieces off. You also have the dog, which is the undo. If you hold it down, it's going to undo your last action. And you have the rocket, which will clear up the whole level. Don't use that unless you're really 100% sure you want to clear up the whole level. Now the next part is going to be the subterranean. If you look at the bottom right hand corner, you see a 1 and a 2. The sub area is the second area of your map that can be either set as horizontal or vertical. Vertical levels are those free falling levels or the castle levels when you climb from bottom to the top. The horizontal level would just be a standard level similar to your first one, moving from left to right or right to left, however you want to create the level. Normally for horizontal levels you see people go underground or you see a water level. Now the way to connect your two areas together will be to use a warp pipe. All you have to do is place a warp pipe on either of the maps, hold down to select the warp pipe. You can either change the colors or you can have Mario enter that warp pipe. Once you enter the warp pipe, you just have to place it on the other map of where you will come out. Now warp pipes are both ways, and right now I have not figured out a way to disable one of the warp pipes other than making it unreachable. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this tutorial video on Mario Course Maker. Hopefully it helps you get the basics of making your own course. Now don't forget to leave a comment down below. What do you think of the game so far, or if you have any levels you want to share with everyone? If you have any tips you want to share with anyone, feel free to leave it in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification, follow me on my social media pages, my Twitch, my Instagram, my Twitter will all be in the description. I'm also linking you the course ID to a few of the courses I make, so if you want to give those a try, let me know how you do on them. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time. So in cases like right here, what I want to do is this. So this is going to be the tricky part of this map for me. Well, not for me, but for people playing it. And I figured this out. This is not hard. Like none of my maps are going to be hard to the point where you can't do it, but it's you might have to think a little bit right here. So what's going to happen is you want to do this. Now this is going to be a little hard because you got to hit Oh, no, that's not gonna work. I just took a picture of that. I don't know why I did that. So every time I'm making my map, I always like to be playing it throughout. Because you want to make sure that... Oh, this is actually hard. Well, this is super hard. Oh my god. Hold on. But then again, this is not a hard level, so it doesn't really matter. This is going to be one of my easier levels. People keep complaining my levels are too hard. Dude, I'm saying, like, you keep hearing me say this level is not hard. And this is kind of a cheese place to do that. Like, it's not hard, just this cheese. God, that's such a joke. Traps. Like, no major traps. People are kind of sad about me and about my traps. They're always like, how come you always use thrumps? God damn, I have to clear this level. There we go. It's a lot of time.